All right, welcome in. Today we're unpacking a truly fascinating, timeless fable. It's a story that actually originated in a vibrant jungle, but man, it contains a psychological lesson so sharp it applies directly to our modern lives, our careers, and our everyday personal relationships. We're going to explore the story of an elephant, a fox, and a parrot to really understand the mechanics of manipulation and the true heavy cost of our own ego.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever trusted someone just because they said exactly what you wanted to hear? Come on, be honest, we've all been there. It's totally human nature to crave validation, right? We absolutely love to be told we're smart, strong, and capable. But this jungle fable brilliantly exposes the really dangerous trap hidden inside that exact desire, a trap we literally all face in the real world every single day.
To understand how this trap works, we first need to meet our main character, Polu the elephant. Now, Polu is generally a fantastic guy. He's got a very pure heart, he regularly goes out of his way to help others, and he is genuinely well-intentioned. But like all great tragic figures, Bolu has one fatal weakness. He has an absolute, uncontrollable love for hearing his own praises. And let's be real, we all love a little praise. But Bolu, he eats it up completely, even if it's entirely fake. He just instantly gets happy and trusts the flatterer totally blindly. This brings us to two incredibly different forces in Bolu's life. On one side, we have Chalu the fox. She is cunning, she's selfish, and she immediately spots Bolu's weakness, deciding to use sweet words to set a trap. On the exact opposite side, we have Mithu the parrot. Mithu is an old friend of Bolu's. He doesn't sugarcoat things, he is blunt, fiercely protective, and completely unafraid to deliver hard, uncomfortable truths.
Let's look at exactly how this trap is set. Chalu the fox sidles up to our ego-driven elephant and drops this incredibly slick line. Wow, Brother Bolu, your strength and wisdom are unmatched in this jungle. You should be the real king. Notice how calculated this is. Chalu isn't just giving a polite compliment here. She is completely weaponizing exaggerated flattery. She targets the absolute highest peak of Bolu's vanity by literally telling him he ought to be the king of the entire jungle.
And boom, just like that, the trap snaps shut. This brilliantly illustrates how easily he falls for the trick. He doesn't even pause to question why a fox is suddenly crowning him king. Instead, he swells with immense pride. He's so incredibly flattered that he instantly promotes Chaglu to the status of his new best friend. In the blink of an eye, just because of a few sweet words, Bolu's defenses vanish entirely. He completely drops his guard against her true selfish intentions.
But thankfully, Bolu does have a true friend in his corner. Enter Mithu the parrot, who immediately sees right through the fox's charade. Mithu delivers this harsh but totally vital warning. Stay away from this Chalu fox. She isn't really praising you. She has a selfish motive behind this. This is exactly what real friendship looks like, you guys. A true friend will risk making things awkward and will even risk your anger to protect you from people who are just using you.
So the crucial point here is how Bolu actually reacts to this protective honesty. Because his ego is just so inflated by the fox's flattery, Bolu outright rejects Mithu's harsh truth. In fact, he feels deeply insulted that Mithu would even question his, quote, greatness or his new, quote, friend. In a devastating move, Bolu completely stops talking to the old parrot. He pushes away his only genuine protector, essentially throwing away the exact armor he's going to desperately need. The deep ravine and the ultimate betrayal. So, this psychological manipulation, it quickly escalates into a literal, physical trap. Chalu leads Bolu right to the edge of an incredibly deep, extremely dangerous ravine. Now, on the other side, there's a tree just full of sweet fruits. Chalu executes this deadly setup in 3 slick steps. First, she shows him the prize. Second, she challenges his ego, claiming that only a truly magnificent, powerful elephant could possibly make such a jump. And finally, she minimizes the extreme danger, convincing him that for someone as great as him, crossing this deadly gap is mere child's play.
Now, the timeline of what happens next is crazy fast and honestly terrifying. Drunk on that false praise, Bolu leaps blindly across the massive ravine without a single logical thought. Mid-air, the illusion completely shatters. He realizes the gap is far too wide. He slips, and his massive weight starts pulling him down into the deadly abyss. Miraculously, as he plummets, he manages to wrap his trunk around a single sturdy bush growing on the side of the cliff, stopping his fall just in the nick of time. He is now literally hanging onto his life by a thread.
And it's right here, at the absolute lowest, most desperate moment of Baloo's life, that the mask completely comes off. As this massive elephant hangs there helplessly, crying out for his best friend Chalu to save him, to grab his slipping hand, the fox doesn't help. She just stands safely at the edge of the ravine, looks down at the terrified elephant, and she laughs. It is a stark, absolutely devastating realization of what false friendship truly is. This right here is the chilling reality of a sycophant. Chalu literally sneers down at him and says, "I just wanted you to pluck those fruits so I could eat them. Now if you fall, go ahead and fall. What is it to me?" She then just turns and abandons him. This perfectly cements the brutal lesson we all need to learn. Flatterers are highly transactional. The absolute second you are no longer useful to them or the second you are in real trouble, they will abandon you without a second thought. The return of true friendship.
Polu's strength is fading fast. He's totally alone, terrified, and paying the ultimate price for his vanity. But suddenly, a familiar face appears at the edge of the cliff. It's Mithu the parrot. Even though Polu completely insulted him, ignored him, and cut him off, Mithu never actually abandoned his friend. But Mithu knows he can't pull an elephant up alone, right? So he rapidly rallies the other animals in the jungle. They rush to the scene, working together to throw down a massive, thick rope. With an immense collective tug of true community effort, they manage to drag the heavy elephant back up over the edge to safety. Back on solid ground, Baloo finally sees the world clearly. Through tears, he turns to the parrot he had completely wronged and says, "Forgive me, friend. I was blinded by false flattery and could not understand your true words." It's that profound, humbling moment of self-awareness where we realize our own foolishness. Baloo understands now that the words that tasted the absolute sweetest were actually poison, and the words that stung his ego the most were actually his medicine. Let's really lock this knowledge in. Think about the psychology we just witnessed. The flatterer's method is sweet, fake praise, which, yeah, feels amazing and totally validating in the moment, but the final results, it leads directly to danger. The true friend, however, uses harsh, blunt honesty. That immediate feeling is often insulting and super painful, but the final result is safety and rescue. We absolutely have to learn to tolerate the short-term discomfort of honest criticism if we want any kind of long-term security. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a serious question to ponder. Take a look around your own life right now, at work, in your social circles, everywhere. Are you surrounding yourself with chalice, who just tell you exactly what your ego wants to hear? Or have you cultivated a circle of mythos, those rare, invaluable friends who actually love you enough to tell you exactly what you need to hear? Trust me, the difference between the two just might save you from a steep fall. Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep seeking the truth.